Welcome back to Guy on the Couch Sports. I'm your host, Guy on the Couch. Leafs finally get a win tonight after losing two straight. Wasn't pretty. It hasn't been pretty. None of them have been pretty lately. Win or lose, they have not been pretty. And tonight, continue that trend. As usual, the boys got up to an early 3-0 lead and blew that. It's a normal thing here with this team, right? Can never hold the lead. I don't get it, but it's obvious Kyle knows what he needs to do because I personally don't think this team can go into the playoffs with this defense. Like you can't. It's just horrible right now. And fortunately for the team tonight, Mrazek was able to keep them in this game and ultimately win it. They needed 5 again to win a game. Like, what is that? The 8th game they needed 5 goals or 4 goals plus out of their last 14 or 15 games? This shit's rough for this team right now. Like, defensively, it's fucking horrible to watch. I mean, I'm glad that they can score. You should be able to score with this hot first line, but like, how long can you depend on this? You can't win like this in playoffs. Absolutely not. So Kyle's definitely got some work to do here. You got to get yourself some defensemen. I don't know. I thought about this for a second. I thought maybe it's the goalies that are making the defensemen look bad. But tonight you saw that it was more of the defensive issues than goaltending. Like, there are guys just left wide open in front of Mrazek. Like Justin Hall in that 3-3 goal was, I don't know who he was taking or who he thought he had, but it was nobody. And the pass goes right across the crease. And easy tap in to tie it up at 3s. Logan takes a stupid penalty with 3 minutes left in the game and gives the CBJ some more momentum. Like, you can't do shit like that. I get it. He's a rookie and it's frustrating because of that reason. Like, to watch him play, because he's going to make a shit ton of rookie mistakes. And if that's the case, you might not be able to play him that late in the game. Fortunately, right now, you don't really have that much options, and Lyubushkin's still fairly new, so he's going to take a minute to get used to, the system and what Keefe wants him to do at the end of games, because that's who I would have out there. That dude has been solid since coming over. But Kyle definitely needs he's got to get at least 2 more defensemen here. Like, this is brutal. Like, Sandin had, like, before Sandin got sick the other night, he had his worst game I've ever seen him play. Lilligren just keeps like looking like he's just struggling. He's just struggling a lot lately. Hall's been struggling all year long. Somehow he's like a plus 13, but he doesn't look like a guy that should be plus 13. I don't know how he's managed to be plus 13. Mind you, most of his shifts are with like Matthews on the first line and the first line going. So that could help. That's how you protect him, right? You play him with a high octane first line and you can get him some nice plus minus numbers right there. Because when he's not on with those guys, like, it's a fucking shit show. I don't know. That's what we need. I know that's what we need. We need defense. I still don't trust the goaltending. I mean, Mrazek still gave up 4 goals tonight. You can't have that. Like, even if your defensemen are fucking up, like, you just can't be giving up 4 goals on a nightly basis. You can't. That's not a winning tandem right there. Jack does this on a regular basis these days, and He said he'll pull out of it, but I don't know if I have that kind of confidence in him to pull out of it. He's obviously he's proven he can pull out of it because for the last calendar year he was pretty good. It's just now he's going through these times, right? And we're not used to that because we're used to Jack being really good. So now we got to go through this with him. Unfortunately, though, this is coming right when the playoffs are about to start, about a month away. And do you show faith in him and hope he rebounds just before the playoffs start or into the playoffs and maybe carries you a round or two? Or do you try and get a goalie as insurance just in case Jack struggles and let's say game 1 gives up 5 goals or so, and then you're forced to play Mrazek next game or whatever it is? Like, I personally think you get yourself some insurance. Even if it's not a stud goalie, like maybe somebody like Anton Forsberg out of Ottawa, for example. Like I'm pretty sure he can play. Gives you more depth. So if anything happens, maybe you can use him if you can't get a guy like Fleury. Like I am honestly like worried about our goaltending. You can fix the defense. You can get a couple of trades and fix the defense. But if once you fix that defense and the goaltending is still the same, you've got a big problem. You're not going to win in the playoffs if you fix your defense and your goaltending still gives up 4 goals. That really worries me. I think the defense can make up for the miscues that they're having right now once you get more veterans on there and you don't have to play Liljegren or Dermott or even Hall. Like if you can find 1 or 2 defensemen that can replace those 2, you might be able to get by the first round here. But you definitely won't get by the first round if you don't have goaltending. Period. So I think that's something we definitely need to figure out here. Now, what's available is the next question. And what can be done about it is also another question. I don't know. I don't know what's available right now with, teams like and salary cap wise, what the Leafs can do. I mean, they say they're not going to use them. If Muzzin comes back, they'll let him play and not use his LTIR money. Okay, that's fair. You're not trying to circumvent the cap. I get it. But honestly, like if you can, talk to Muzzin and see how he's feeling and maybe give him some more time to heal and be like, Jake, like we want you at your freshest. He hasn't even had that great of a season. So if you can get him a month off, maybe a month and a half off, like let's see if he comes back strong and ready to go. And then you have Muzzin with the other defensemen that you've just now acquired in free agency and possibly go. You go into the playoffs now with a much stronger team, a much stronger lineup. And I think that would be the way to go for me personally. Like, I don't know, this team, I don't know what Sheldon Keefe is going to be able to do with what he's got right now. Like, what he's got right now is just not working. Your second line had a great game on Saturday, but tonight Tavares wasn't that great. Like, he took 2 stupid penalties tonight. I don't know. What do you do? JT's going to be, hopefully, he's going to be ready for the playoffs. And you need that second line going in the playoffs. Because Matthew's going to see the first line pairing. Like the defensemen that he's going to see are going to be like, I don't know who he's going to play right now. Like, it's going to be either Ekblad or Hedman. At the rate they're going, it's, constantly. Now, I don't think Ekblad's going to be like much of a challenge, but Hedman definitely would be. Right? So if that's the case, then you're going to need your second line going. And right now, it doesn't look like that second line can take on anybody. Keeps trying to find wingers to play with Tavares and Nylander, but, there's only so much that, Robertson can do. I keep wanting to call this kid Pedersen for some reason. I don't know why. He's nowhere near Pedersen in his level of hockey. But anyways, But yeah, Keith keeps trying to find people, and maybe he will he will find a winger to play with them. But right now, his only option is basically just Kerfoot or Kasha when he comes back. He looked good when he was around. Actually, I really like Kasha on that line. So if he can get Kasha back, put him on the line with Tavares and Nylander, maybe he might have something there too. Move Kerfoot onto the third line, and Engvall onto the fourth line, and you've got something there. So that's definitely something I'm hoping they can do. Plus, whatever trades they could make to acquire forward, because they definitely need a winger for that second line. That first line is absolutely dynamite. I love that first line. Like, it might be the best first line in hockey right now. If you can think of a better first line, please let me know. But like right now, there's nobody better than 40 goal man Matthews, Bunting, and Marner. I don't see it. I don't. It used to be Bergeron's line in Boston, but that's been well past by now. Like it's Matty, Matty, not just scoring, but he's defending. Like he does it all. In a full game, Matty does it all right now. He's like an elite version of Bergeron right now. Right? I'm not talking about Stanley Cup winning Bergeron. I'm talking about Bergeron right now. Like he's the elite version of that. So that's good to see the Leafs actually have a player like that. It's been a long time. Like, I guess the last dominant center the Leafs really had, I would say, was Matt Sundin. That was many moons ago. It's been a long time. So it's good to see that we have another center that can, handle the play here. Anyways, Mrazek gets a win. Tomorrow we're probably going to see Jack in the net. Back-to-back against Seattle. Who knows how that's going to turn out. Team had a pretty high-flying game tonight, so I don't know. Maybe they might be tired and they might not look good tomorrow versus Seattle. But Seattle's not that great of a team, and the Leafs are home. So maybe they can pull out a nice win there tomorrow, and Jack can maybe, come through and save the boys tomorrow night. I hope so. You never want your goalies to fail. Like, you don't, right? It's about getting wins. That's all you care about. So when you see your guys struggle, like, it sucks. And especially for Jack Campbell. Jack's a good dude. Like, he's a really good dude. And you hate to see him struggle, but at the end of the day, we just care about wins, right? So hopefully tomorrow night he can get us a win, and that can start the snowball effect for him with his confidence. I thought he would have had his confidence again when he won that 5-1 game against Pittsburgh a while back, a couple weeks ago. But I think the next night, Keith switched him with Mrazek, right? So that probably threw him off there. You got to get these guys some consistency here. If they win a game, like, obviously tonight, this is going to be on a back-to-back, so Mrazek's probably not going to play tomorrow. I'm thinking it's going to be Jack. We'll see, but I'm thinking it's Jack. But after that, if you get like games with a couple of days off or a day off, and one of your goalies wins that game, like maybe give them, a couple games here. He did try that with Mrazek last week, and that didn't go too well. But I don't know. Like, I guess he's tried it and it didn't work. So I don't know. Let's try it again. You can't. What could go wrong? I don't know. Worth a shot. But I'm glad they won tonight. Boston lost tonight in overtime. So that put them 3 points behind the Leafs tonight. Florida destroyed Buffalo 6-1. So Leafs didn't really gain any ground there. But they did move up 3 points ahead of Boston. So that gives them a little bit of breathing room, which is crazy considering how much space the Leafs had between them and Boston. Like, as far back as like the start of February? Like, that's how bad the Leafs have been playing now for the last month or so. Like, it's just, and Boston just keeps winning and catching up slowly. But I'm glad tonight wasn't one of those nights, because they would have been tied had the Leafs lost tonight and Boston won. So thank God for that. Anyways, not much to talk about tonight other than, Mitchie scoring 60 points again. Like, it's Mitchie. Like, he's got 60 points in the season for his, fourth straight year? 6 straight year. I don't know. Like Mitchell he's a stud. There's nothing to say about him. The kid's a stud. Hoping now that Nylander can, hit 60 points as well. Maybe Tavares will definitely hit 60. So, Tavares, if you look at his stats as a Leaf, like, they haven't been that bad, especially his first couple of years. He's very good, but, like, it just seems like he goes through, like, long droughts now, and it just kind of makes his contract, like, unbearable at times. Like, it's rough. But hopefully he gets hot just before the playoffs starts or in the playoffs, and he's able to carry that second line along with Nylander, and they can finally do something in the playoffs, like together. It's either one or the other, you know what I mean? Like, but together they've never been hot together yet. So that's something I'd like to see. I like to see this whole team get like really hot towards the end of the season and run into the playoffs hot. It'd be a beautiful thing to watch because they're going to need it against either Florida or Tampa. Whoever they play, they're definitely going to be they're going to need to be on their game because that won't be an easy matchup either way. Anyways, that's it for me for tonight. Pretty quick one here. Not really any drama on the team today. This I don't know. Nothing really happened today. Oh, there was a troll drop today by I think the Dallas broadcast team. They thought Jeff Petrie had been traded to Toronto. I'll repost that on my Twitter if I find that tweet. But that was pretty funny to watch. And it's funny because once they said that, I went looking. I'm like, what? Petrie to the Leaf? No, thank you. But yeah, that was pretty funny. Anyways, that's it for me for tonight. Thanks for joining me. And we'll talk again tomorrow for the Seattle Kraken game. All right. Have a good night.